Hey there everyone. So, now we're going to work on our yellow belt black stripe requirements. Now, as a white belt back before, our black stripe was our stances. Now, our black stripe is our traditional blocks. So, there are 8 traditional blocks that we're going to go through, and I really want to see that our yellow belts have these down 100%. So, our blocks start off simple with the high block, something we've been doing this whole time. That one starts on my belt upside down, just like punch would, and then it goes up, 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 last second snap out, and it's blocking anything coming down to my head. So one time fast, high block, bam, just like that, other side, bam. So, our second block is our low block. Now our low block is the first time we see a crossing chamber. So, our crossing chamber, if I'm going to block with my right hand, my right arm crosses on top. So I'm going to give myself a big hug. I'm going to touch my elbows together. Now we're not going to go like this. You should be easily able to separate your elbows. So we're going to go just like this to where we can make an alligator mouth. Now again, my blocking hand is my top hand. So I'm going to come out and snap down to the side. And notice how my other hand doesn't just stay up here. My other hand goes to my belt, so it's ready to rumble. So now if I'm doing my left side, I chamber up, and then my left arm is on top, and I go down, 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 snap around. So low blocks, bam, bam, bam. There's our low blocks, okay? Our next block, our third block, is called our inner forearm block. Now this one is another crossing chamber, just like the low block is, but instead of our blocking hand chambering on top, it's chambering on the bottom. So if I'm going to block with my right hand here, I'm chambered on the bottom. And my hand faces outwards, because I'm going to do an inner forearm block where I show myself my forearm. So for my inner forearm block, I go out, 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 and then see how I'm facing outwards? I'm going to snap in and show myself my forearm. So inner forearm block a little bit faster, I go bam, just like that. This block thing's coming straight at me. Other side, again, if I'm going to block with my left arm, it chambers on the bottom. It's facing out, 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 then in. So that's our inner forearm block. Now, our outer forearm block is our next block. It's the same thing as the inner forearm block, except instead of having my forearm facing inwards, faces outwards. So, I chamber the exact same. The only difference is, instead of chambering with my fist facing outwards, I'm chambering with my fist facing inwards. And my blocking hand is still chambering on the bottom. And so I go around, 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 and then I go out. So it's an outer forearm block. Now if I do on the other side, remember that my blocking hand is on the bottom. I'm in, and out. So that's our outer forearm block. Very similar blocks, but it's good to know the difference, and they have different uses. So, our next block is our outside block. Now this block is a little bit tricky to remember because its name doesn't quite correlate with it so much. But what we do is we make our fist and we chamber right on our ear. I like to tap my ear with my hand. Be careful not to punch your ear. But we're going to chamber right on our ear. And then from there we're going to go around, around, and floosh it around. And on the other side I chamber at my ear and I floosh it around. I like to say floosh it around. It's an easy way for me to remember it, so maybe it's an easy way for you to remember it. So these are our outside blocks. Now, our last 3 blocks are more of artistic blocks. They're more fancy blocks. I don't see too much use in everyday life with them, but they're good to know and they're kind of tough blocks, so it's important that we cover those. So, our first one of our fancy traditional blocks is called our double knife hand block. Now in yellow belt, this is the first move in your form. So if I'm going to do a left double knife hand block, I'm going to chamber to the right. Remember, everything has a chamber and an execution state. Even my low block has a chamber and an execution. So my chamber for a left double knife hand block is my right hand is straight out to the side facing downwards and open. My hand is a knife hand. My left hand is under my heart and facing up. And again, this is my chamber. And then I'm going to go straight around and snap out. So now my right hand is under my heart facing upwards. And my left hand is facing outwards like an outer forearm block but open. So again, I go from here and around. So for the right double knife hand block, again, same thing, other side. My left hand is facing downwards. My right hand is facing upwards under my heart. And then I snap out, just like that. So these are our double knife hand blocks. So our next block is our double fist block. And now this is very similar to our double knife hand block. The only difference is that I'm going to close my fist. Now it's a double fist block. So again, if I'm doing a right double fist block, I chamber to the left. My left hand is out facing downwards. My right hand is under my heart facing upwards. And I snap out to the side doing basically an outer forearm block with my other hand under my heart. So again, around just like that. Now our last of our 8 basic blocks is our square block. Now my square block chambers with my hand that's going to be on the top starts on the bottom. So if I'm doing a left square block, my right hand is on the bottom and my left hand is on the top making fists. It kind of chambers right here on the side of your hips. And then my square block goes around and it's basically an outer forearm block and a high block at the same time. So again, my right hand's on the bottom, my left hand's on top for a left square block. Then I go high block, outer forearm block. Now for the other side, it's the same exact thing. My left hand's on the bottom, my right hand's on the top, and then I go bam, around, and I'm doing a right outer forearm block and a left high block. So that is our black stripe requirements for you yellow belts. Go home, practice them, ask as many questions as you can, and we'll see you guys on the mats.